Okay. Welcome to Insight with Moonshadow, everybody. I am Moonshadow. I am an integrative holistic therapist. I'm an intuitive and a shamanic body, mind, and spirit healer and evangelist. And we are today, this is something that's kind of, a lot of times people are used to me organically coming up with these topics that are coming up and they're pertinent at the time. And this particular topic being Memorial Day, and happy Memorial Day, everyone. I hope you sent a good thought to all of the service people that have, given up their health and their lives to help protect us. And as much as I try to be a Zen, peaceful person and a spiritual warrior, without their energy and their passion and their strength, we wouldn't have what we have, as good or difficult as it is at this time. So that being said, I send a lot of good juju and a lot of love to all the servicemen and women that have donated and devoted such time away from their families to be able to keep as much of the freedom that we do still have active and alive. So that being said, that's something that I just deep within my heart had to say. But this topic came up because I also had an anniversary of my father's death, as well as losing my uncle on the same day. And so this just happens to come up where it's really right there in the forefront of Memorial Day. And this came up, recently for me, is like, how do you want to be remembered? What is your legacy? Do you put out there who you absolutely are, who you really, really are? Now, I can say that, I'm pretty transparent, and it's good, bad, and indifferent, because there's a sense of vulnerability that when you put yourself out there and you're really you, and you don't have a buffer or a alter ego per se or something like that, people can judge, and people can take advantage, and people can say what they want and all of that, right? But with this topic, life lessons from an elder, what is your legacy? It's about all of the elders that have touched our lives. I've got my spirit guides, and I have one particular spirit guide, life protector and teacher that's been with me ever since I was little. And he has taught me quite a lot without me even knowing until I was acknowledged, until I acknowledged him. And Beth's saying, for sure I do. I mean, what you see is what you get. And exactly. And it's really important, because when you're vulnerable and transparent, there is a possibility of blame, shame, being bullied, and all kinds of things, especially if you're not part of the status quo, part of the majority. But I can honestly say, with the people that are in this room, and I've had the ability to connect with all of you personally, and all of you are unique people. Every single one of you are very unique people, and even standing side by side from each other, you guys are very unique. Welcome, Evangelos. And that being said, that really matters. That really matters when you put yourself out there, right? So what legacy would you leave behind? How would you want to be remembered? Would you want to be remembered for how you passed, how you died, or would you rather be remembered for how you lived? Would you rather be celebrated? Would you rather be put up on a pedestal even though you didn't deserve it? Or would you rather actually do the good and mean it and be real and be out there, and people say, you know what, that person, he passed, and these are little things that you didn't know he or she did. They gave food to the homeless, or they took in, or they adopted a child from someone else, or something to that degree. So all of that being said, and I see someone who wanted to pop in. Now, hey, Matar. I would say hold that thought, Matar, and I can let people into the seats in a bit. So I'm not ignoring you. But this being said, it's like, what legacy are you leaving behind? And it's not doing good deeds for good deeds' sake. It's not doing good deeds or being out there so people will like you. It's what is the real you? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Like, and there are times that I will, single people out, and I single people out with love, like with Dawn Marie. She really helps people working with her CBD care. People that need that help. A lot of people don't necessarily need to be on all kinds of pain meds because of what she does. And that's an example. Marissa educates educators. The future of who we have in, our future is our children. So again, legacy. And this is all really, really important. And I don't think, not everyone actually brings it up, because again, I'd like to bring in conversation and things that not necessarily is even spoken about. It's not spoken about in the water cooler. You don't see people in the office being like, so John, what are you leaving to the world? How do you want to be, shown in the world? Not necessarily. A lot of time is like, how about those Red Sox? Which, I love Boston and all that, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is chit chat, small talk, and it's not really deep-seated conversation. And if any of you have spent 5 minutes with me, you know that I can be as deep as the ocean, but as funny as hell as well. It's like, silliness is also part of it. So all of that matters. It's all about emulating all your facets in who you are. Like Evangelist is saying, 65% people forget how to live. They're all in a wild goose chase, right? With what we call money versus life. And it's true. And I'm notorious for that too. This is one of the reasons why I began, Insight with Moonshadow in the first place. Yes, it's possibly good at exposure, and it has exposed me quite a bit to other people for my healing practice. But that's not the main goal. The main goal was to share wisdom and share content and share with all of you and connect people. Now, if there's money that's made, or if I'm asked to do a blog, a radio show, which by the way, I was asked to do a radio show, and I'll give you the deets later. But all of that is because of the main intention of wanting to connect people with people and connect people with real conversation and real issues, the things that we don't really talk about. And Isabel's right. Joy raises our vibration. Happiness raises your vibration. There's not a whole lot of happiness in the world. Let's face it. You know what I mean? I try to be an optimist the best I can, but sometimes you got to be a realist too, and you have to look at the world for what it is. It's not always pretty, but if you look at it from every vantage point, there is beauty there. And there's a story, there's a little story I found. Like, at one point in time, I was walking through the woods. And the interesting thing about this particular walk in the woods is that it was organic and raw. But the one thing that I noticed was there's one wildflower, one random wildflower that was just there. And it was like in the middle of the path. it was just interesting that a wildflower decided to come out of the ground right there on that spot, right in the middle of a walking path, and it wasn't trampled over. So in looking at the dirt and looking at the trees weren't all full of, full of leaves and everything at that time. So it was kind of stark. But looking down, I see this one little wildflower. And for all I know, it could have been some kind of weed. But you know what? It was beautiful. So a lot of times there's that hidden beauty, that one little part that you will notice. And sometimes that's all that matters. That little bit of joy, that little smile you present to someone, that laugh, or visiting friends that have children, good pillow fight, anything like that. All those things kind of make a difference, and sometimes that offsets a lot of what's going on in the world today. So that's one of the big, huge reasons why this topic came to mind this week for me, and why I wanted to share with you. Now, Tony's saying here, I think that part of the reason that I've got involved with sincerely promoting and helping people with their different projects. I would hope that everyone that I help would tell others how much I influence their lives and others by letting others get heard. And I agree. And I agree with you. You don't have to be someone that's a content provider. You can be a content supporter. You could be someone that shows up to lift someone else up. So you don't have to be in the front line. You don't have to be the person that is right there in the spotlight. Do you know how many people are our support team? You take a talk show. The talk show host is just one person. They're the voice of the face, but you know what? All those interns, all those producers, all those associate producers, cameramen, everyone else. Without them, the show doesn't happen. So that's a big part of leaving this legacy and seeing how you would be remembered. All of us have ways of doing things. All of us. We all have our methods. We all have our personalities. And that makes absolute sense, right? Like if all of us were the same, then the world would be pretty boring. But it's also, what do you contribute? What do you bring into the world? How do you support the world with what it is? Are you part of the problem, part of the solution? If you guys have known me more than a couple of minutes, you've heard me probably say that at least a couple hundred times. And it's true. And as Evangelos is saying, I think the main problem in the world is that many people blame their problems on money. It's not always about money. It's right. It's not always about money. It's about being miserable. If you are emotionally constipated all the time, and that's something that I coined a long, long time ago, if you're emotionally constipated, then guess what? Are you going to blame it on money? Money could be a contributor. Sorry, excuse me. Money can be a proponent, but it doesn't mean that it's all of it. I have seen people, and in fact, I actually witnessed this at one point in time. There was someone that won Powerball. This is going back quite a long time ago. This guy won Powerball, and he won a good chunk of money. He kind of sort of invested it in a certain way. He invested it in a restaurant. He had no idea how to run a restaurant. He bought real estate. He had no idea how to manage real estate. And he basically, within 6 months, he was broke. Within 6 months. And this was a sizable amount of money. So now, can we blame money on everything? No, we can't blame money on everything. We can be responsible and accountable for how we feel. And there are times that we get affected by external means. Sometimes we are at the mercy of externals. I, for one, have also been at the mercy of externals at times as well. But looking at it, you still need to look at how you project yourself in the world and what you do and what you leave behind. This is not about, doing the last will and testament or anything like that. It's more or less, how do you live your life? You know, how do you choose to connect with people? What conversations do you have? Are you fully living out loud? Are you actually living your fullest? And I'm saying, we could all use more money. We could all use better health. We can all be more physically fit. We can all do that, of course. But I'm saying, are you intentionally trying to live the fullness of life the best you can with what you're given? And that's really important. And that's huge. And the fact that you guys are here in itself tells me a lot. It tells me that that you want to be challenged as well. You want to think about this stuff. You want to really be a change in the world one way or another, whether it's for one moment, one person, or more. You know, and that's huge. And that's huge. Do it for the right reasons too. A lot of people, they say they're doing something for one way or another, and they have the ulterior motive. Now, again, legacy. Now I bring this up to people in the room. What do you do, or how do you put yourself out there? How do you want to be known? What legacy are you leaving? Quite a few of you may have children. So how are you passing the torch? Something to think about. When it's all said and done, what energy are you contributing to, So life lessons from an elder. These are things that I've been taught. And I'll run for you a few of those life lessons that I've been given from my elders. One of them is be you. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to live like someone else. Don't try to emulate someone else. You could like what someone else does, but make it your own. Be you. Highly important. In fact, in Dr. Seuss, there's a Dr. Seuss quote. That's one of my favorites. Is "You are youer than you." That's truer than true. There is no other you that is youer than you. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. I'm going by memory, but it's true. You only qualified to being you. So if you're the most possible you could be out in the world, you present yourself out there full on, that makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. And there is a vulnerability there, and there is a nervousness there, and I will say that. Just recently, when I started on Periscope, I actually put forth more of my intuitive nature, even though I've always been intuitive, and most of the people in this room have seen me working my intuition. However, I didn't straight up say it was my intuition, as I just would say it in some other way, like I picked something up, or this is what I'm getting, or something like that. Hey, Nicholas. So, but now I was, talk about being vulnerable and being completely out there. Now it's out. Now, is there a problem, or did I regret it? Absolutely not, because, you are you. I am me, and that's just what you can do, and that's how it is, and there's no other way around it, right? Yeah. And Tony's saying, I am me, and you are you, but when you are me and I am you, then who the heck am I? It's true. It's true. if we were too busy trying to emulate a person, if all of us, as a matter of fact, this is kind of funny. I kind of ran into this little news tidbit. There's actually two people, and I saw this news randomly in my Yahoo feed. There are a couple of people in the world that actually were so fascinated by the Kardashians that they spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to emulate and look just like the Kardashians. All right. Yeah, true story. Hashtag. But now, okay, so now you look like Kim K. Now what? Who are you now? Are you Kim K? Are you Kim K's clone? Who are you? I don't know. To me, that's a little bit of a mind screw. Makes me like, I'd be like, what is that? So, but this is the thing. What part of you? Now, and granted, all of us have our shadow side, which is something that I have brought up on many other shows before as well. And there's a piece that's always left behind. There's deep parts of you that you don't share necessarily with just anybody. But the thing is, the majority of who you are, it projects out there and people get it. People can pick it up. People can see you. And if you're really who you really are, then they really see you. That's why you get followed. That's why people will retweet you. Don't want retweets just because you're saying something just clever. That's what an influencer is being out there and actually doing some good out in the world. So again, that's all about legacy and putting yourself out there. Are you celebrated? Do you celebrate yourself? And these are all important little aspects. You hear me, mention a lot about self-care, about taking good care of yourself, and it's so important, and it is. Because the better you are taking care of other people, other people that may need your help or need to be uplifted, right? If you're weak, how can you lift someone else? But that's another aspect to leaving a legacy. Living your life fully. All of this makes a difference, a huge difference, mind you. Now, I welcome anyone, if you want to come into the seat and share what you put forth or what you would like, if you have a story to share, or what does legacy mean to you? I welcome anybody to hop in the seat if you'd like, or you can also comment in the chat as well. I'm not going to throw you guys in the hot seat or or push you into the hot seat, but how do you, even in the chat, how have you decided what you put forth in the world? What is your goal? What is your mission statement? Your manifesto? Okay, Dawn Marie wants to create happiness in the world. Well, I can second that, because we could use a hell of a lot more happiness, right? That's huge. I've seen a lot of Tony scopes when I have to say that, looking at Tony's periscopes, or as a Snapchats, mind you, sorry, his Snapchats, where there's always music playing. So I would say that's part of Tony's legacy. Having joyful music being played in his coffee shop. That is awesome stuff. It doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't take a whole lot. in my conversations, without going into any kind of personal means or personal talk, I have spoken with Erin. Erin's not from the U.S., but she does a lot of good work too. She's always giving to others. Not because she wants to be looked at highly or favorably. She just does it. It's automatic. It's just because. Just because. And that makes a big, huge difference. That makes you remember and say, you know what? Wow, I'm really, really glad I met this person. This person has enhanced my life. Exactly. And everyone's saying is helping others is kindness and brings happiness into the world. Again, see? Now you have two people just in the chat alone between Dawn Marie and Erin, two different parts of the world, mind you. And their goals is helping people, also bringing happiness into the world. Okay. Maytar would like to come in. Hopefully. Hey, Maytar. How goes it? How you doing? Oh, I just wanted to say hi. Love it. Always a pleasure, Maytar. But really, that's really the thing here is that a lot of times you just want to kind of, it's not about just doing the right thing. There's more to it than that. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Moon. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Working. Good juju. Good tech juju.
Doing good. Yeah, I want to send everyone to the moon. No, to the moon back. No, but I kind of want to hop in and just. Oh, I got echo.
Yeah, well, you try to unmute and unmute yourself, and sometimes that works. Because I know I only have two tabs open, which is this and my Twitter feed. So. I'm not hearing any.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm hearing it anymore. Okay, but anyway, I kind of want to hop in and just kind of to answer your question about what I'm doing to change the world. And there's that echo again. I'm just going to try to fight over it. But one of the big things I've done in the last 2 years is really have gotten involved in a group of people who are involved with what's called the web series community. The web series community are a group of people who make original content for the web. They do it in like a serial format, like a little bitty installments of a story or whatever. Let me try.
Oh, like a PSA kind of thing, like chapters in a book kind of.
Yeah, kind of like little chapters in a book, or they also make independent movies and that kind of stuff. And so I've really got involved in this community because I have made a lot of friends who make independent web series, and they make podcasts and different things like this. And so they have influenced me so much. Let me hop off and then come back.
We can refresh. You can refresh, and we can say hello to Maytar as well. So yeah, refresh. You can hop back in. No worries.
Hello.
How are you doing, Maytar? How goes it?
Hello, my friend. Can you hear me, Maytar?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, when you mute me, the echo's gone. Well, unfortunately,
no, I do not mute you. I like you.
Oh yeah, well, I like you too. No, I'm saying when the I was talking about the echo. It could be a glitch, but I'm not getting it, so I'm hoping that it doesn't pass through on the recording. Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, Lab's being freaky. So I'm going to try to hold on the best I can. And
hey, Maytar.
Yeah, so Maytar. Hello, so how's things, man?
Hello, Anthony. Hello to you. I am Maytar. I like you too. I like Anthony and also Moonshine. You are two very good people. I want to come here to the blog to speak with you about something that is really important. I watch you guys for a while now on the internet, and I think you are very good looking. So I wanted to ask, I was wondering if you can help me to become like you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But I think that you're probably doing very well yourself. So I don't think you have to worry about that kind of thing. Just be Matar. That's my thing.
Yeah,
Just be yourself.
Be a mater, but I want to put a costume of a hot guy. So when I go to work, when I go to work, they would have like me, you know?
Yeah, well, that's definitely not a legacy that I'm initially trying to put out there, but thank you. Also, too, we have Evangelos. Evangelos, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hello, Evangelist. Hello, you also look very good. I would like to look like you. You're
okay, we can't hear Evangelos. We can't hear Evangelos at all. Yes, so take a look at your settings, please.
Did you see my kippa?
Yes, I did. Very interesting.
Yes. Do you like my kippa?
I think it's very, very
That's
cool.
neat. Looks like a yarmulke.
So now, my question for you, Matar, is what would you want to leave? What message would you want to leave in the world? What would you want your legacy to be for future generations?
My legacy is that life could be much better.
Well, I'll second that one for sure. But
That's
how
great.
would you like? What would you want to do to make things better? Like, what message would you want to put out there to make life better for other people?
To make to do better. I think that now we have we are in a time that is one of the best known to humankind when we have the internet, and you can teach me how to be sexy, and I can teach you other stuff. We can help each other. We can enrich each other.
Yeah, and Nazim is saying drink more wine. I agree. Within reason, moderation is key, but having a glass of wine definitely makes things a little nicer as well. Absolutely. Now, Evangelos, can you say hello? Is your audio working? You're actually frozen.
I believe he's frozen.
Yes, unfortunately, it could be. Unfortunately, it could be the platform. It could be your internet connection. It could be multiple things. But
Yeah.
Evangelos is always someone that I enjoy having him in the show. He always has a lot of information to share. And he's also a healer of sorts because he works with frequencies and binaural beats and that kind of thing, meditations. He's very, very cool people.
So,
He's one of the frequency people.
Yes, he's one of the frequency people, yes.
Do you know the doctor from Iran?
Doctor from Iran.
I've seen him before. I know who you're talking about. Dr. Corey.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Dr. Corey is quite funny. He's a funny guy as well.
Yeah.
And
So
of
anyway,
course,
man, you want to finish what I was saying, or I didn't mean to interrupt your night talk.
no, that's okay. That happens. All right, you go ahead and finish, Tony.
But anyway, what I was saying is because I've gotten involved in the web series community, I've gotten to know a lot of people who make web series, and a lot of people who make podcasts, and a lot of people who write their own books and do their own independent stuff. And I about 2 years ago, just because I was bored and had nothing else to do, I made a Facebook group called Web Series Friends for people who make their own projects on the internet and do web series and that kind of stuff. And I pretty much just opened it up and I said, if you want to promote your stuff, do it. If you want some input, ask for it. If you want to collaborate, ask for collaboration. if you want to get help finding sites for your places to shoot or food services or whatever, do it here on this site. I'm doing this because your stories have really touched me, and I like hearing original content, and I want to be an advocate for you, the creator, so that your platform will grow. And so, that's kind of the legacy that I've always left behind. Is I want to leave behind. I want people to know that that Tony sincerely wanted people to be heard, no matter what. If it was just a story, if it was their hardship, if it was their just their side of the story or something. I've never liked depression. I've never liked suppression of any kind whatsoever. And so I will gladly say, hey, shut up, let them speak.
Yeah.
Because
and this is cool. And this is the cool thing about, and this is something I've seen, and I can personally say that I've seen this evolution within Tony himself. I remember when I first met Tony, and this is just, and I'm not singling him out here in a bad way. This is actually lifting him up. I remember when I first met Tony, he was uber shy. You'd never believe that now because, he's like up in the camera saying his piece and all that, which is fantastic. But I remember the day that I met Tony, and he was very, very shy. And he, even his voice, even the volume of his voice, even his energy was very, very, very quiet. And yes, I purposely quiet. He's very, very, like, I want to be known. I want people to know me, but then I don't want people to know me, right? But what happens over so many weeks and so many in months of knowing Tony, he has really put his best foot forward and is actually putting himself out there. So he is building a legacy. And that's so important.
Thank you, Moon. But I mostly do it because I don't like people to be left out. I don't like people to be not heard. And I just like everyone has a voice. Everyone has something to say. It needs to be heard, and it can change things. And I realize that if I don't do it, if nobody else does it, then I need to do it to at least say whatever, do whatever.
And I agree with you because that's what started me early on, even in elementary school myself. Being someone that was unique and not necessarily fitting in, I spoke for the people that wouldn't speak for themselves or couldn't speak for themselves because they were oppressed. So this is where Tony and I share a similar energy. Mm-hmm. And it's something where sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to put your best foot forward, even though it's a scary place. And that's a part about building a legacy. That's the part about putting yourself out there to be better to the people. So that's key. It really is. Okay, now Evangelist is saying she'd like to share something with you all. I'm involved in this. We are making a difference in the life of so many. Okay. IshaFoundation.org. Okay, feel free to open that up and bookmark that, people. Check that out. I enjoy putting out support for other people, especially if they're putting out good juju and putting out good things as well. Now, what I'd like to see if anyone else would like to hop into a seat. I'm so grateful that Tony came in to share some of your story, and also Maytar. And let's see if some of the people may want to pop in.
But I can tell you from experience, from what I've done, I have helped so many people just in a little bitty ways. People have said, "You helped me find places to shoot my series in. You've helped me find actors for me. You've spread my word much better than I could ever do myself." And I've met a lot of people who have really said, "Listen, we love the fact that you help us out so much." And
also, Tony, I definitely invite you to put your links in there so people can check that out and check out what you do as well. because that's also part of it.
But
It's all about the support.
yeah,
Now,
so,
also,
so if you have a podcast, if you have a web series, if you have an independent book, you would like to get some input on it, whatever, please go to my site. I'll let you in. One of the other admins will let you in, and we'll give you all the support and help that you'll need for your independent project as much as you can. There's
awesome.
a link to it right there. Web series frames right there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate that. Now, also, too, seeing that we're talking about legacies and and how we're promoting and putting the energy out there, and I agree, Ariel is saying you won't bring yourself down by bringing other people up. It's true. Now, I don't know if Dawn Marie would like to pop in. She also does some seriously awesome work as well, and she can share part of her legacy as well. If she'd like to pop in. Yeah, I'm kind of calling you out.
Hello?
Yes, Maytar.
Hey, Maytar.
What should I do if I don't know what is the legacy of me?
How old
Well,
are you?
that's something.
He's so young.
That's a good question, Maytar. First of all, part of it is knowing who you are.
I am Maytar.
Oh, you are Maytar. All right. Well, now, how would you want people to know who Maytar is and what Maytar's message is? So that's all something.
It depends on what is relevant for the people. If you want to know, let's say, if Maytar is can give you something good, then ask for it and give you Maytar.
Well, there you go. Well, see, it sounds like you're on the path to discovering who you are and what you're capable of putting out there. So it's a good start.
Maytar,
Yes,
I can offer you some advice. And the best advice I can tell you, the best advice I can tell you is I'll quote my my catchphrase for my Twitter handle: be eccentric. Be eccentric as you can. Learn every little thing about eccentricity means to not fit in with be eccentric means not to fit in with a norm or a standard. Just learn to be you. Learn how to do things off the wall. Be quirky. Be as quirky as you can. Establish every hobby that you can, even if it doesn't seem like it fits in together. It does, because it's you. And then through your eccentricness, start taking an interest in other people, asking people, what makes you you? How can I benefit you?
Yes, I would like to ask you how you became a hot guy. I want to become like you. Tell me, please.
Now this is different from legacy to being a hot, sexy guy. That may be something you guys need to talk on the side there. Just saying. That's a little bit off topic from what we're talking about, the hot guyness.
But just be eccentric. People will look at you and say, you are the most interesting person in the world. Your combinations of likes and dislikes are interesting, and they'll take notice. And that's probably the best way to do.
What makes you happy, Maytar?
I tell you what makes me happy. What makes me happy is some breakthroughs in life. When I see that I made things better. And sometimes I have goals. Generally, I can say that I really like to make friends and to be to make the friendships healthy, to be honest, and to collaborate on some maybe projects and to make people happy. Sometimes I don't really have to to make something better. Sometimes I don't really have to work hard. I just have to
show up,
point out something. Yeah.
In my country,
what you say?
I said, I think we sound a lot alike. I think that you and I have a lot in common.
I
Just like to
hope
make
so.
people happy.
I hope so. Yes, but you know, we have many possibilities, and in my country, I have a culture, and a part of my culture is when I see someone that is wrong, I confront them. You see, which is very different than other cultures. I know that it's maybe the total opposite, but it's one of the things I do like about my country, even though I really hate my country.
Well, it all depends on how you confront too.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely delivery and tact and how you do things.
It's not all depends on how, because like I said, some people choose to avoid confronting from the first place, and they do it all the time.
Sometimes there's always, there's a lot of times always a better method to pass on a lesson. Like I've mentored, challenged kids, and worked with all kinds of people. And when I've been mentoring a lot of the kids that I've mentored and life coach, believe me, let me tell you, they weren't the easiest ones. I'd get a lot of the supposed lost causes and the difficult ones. And I had to find ways, eccentric ways, mind you, to get through to them. So there's always a way of reaching someone. It's just finding the way to get in.
Because sometimes when you approach somebody about something that they've done wrong, they are going to, depending on how they choose to accept that information, they may choose to do the same thing twice as bad. They may rebel against what you're saying instead of understanding what you're trying to say. And as I can say that as a mother, and
well, that can be.
And sometimes it's rebelling in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Not rebelling for the sake
defensive, like Ariel said.
Right. Like rebelling for the sake of being rebellious, not because they actually do not believe in the actual thing.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Moonshine, do you like me, Drew Fro?
Oh my goodness, Maytar. This is what I'm gonna say, and with love, I'm gonna say, Maytar, I'm gonna send you the chat, but love you to death, man. Comic relief. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. This is just, this is part of hosting a show, is that you kind of want to get, and I guide with uber respect, because I think Maytar is awesome peeps. Sometimes you don't know what Maytar is going to say, and I'm being honest and I'm being transparent with that. But I have a lot of respect for Maytar. I've learned a lot from Maytar and his culture and who he is. So, that being said, I do that with love and light, Maytar, I swear. Now Dawn Marie, she has a certain job and a certain thing that she does as well that's adding to her legacy.
Actually, I think there's something that you don't know about me that has actually been more of a legacy than even helping people with their health problems. And that is that in 2007, I started the Happy Headlines. And what I did is I used kids from the middle school as reporters. And we had a weekly show with the green screen and everything. And we interviewed Governor Hickenlooper. We interviewed Peace Jam. We interviewed the EPA. We did the kids did all these wonderful positive interviews about all the positive things that were going on in the world, so that they could focus on the, all the good news that was being hidden. And so some of the kids that were my reporters back then, actually they're all in college now, and some of them have were actually able to do bits on TV as interviewers, got sent to California to interview movie stars and stuff because of the Happy Headlines. Wow. and are now in college.
Loving that is so awesome. See, this is what I'm saying. We see a lot of the news, and we don't ever see a lot of the human interest stuff. there's not too many people, saving a cat from a tree and that kind of thing. There are.
Actually, there are. There's a lot of that happening, but you just don't see it.
Exactly, but they don't put it in the forefront,
Mhm.
and that's the issue, and that's unfortunate. So to hear about these happy headlines and these kids that were younger and now they're in college,
Mhm.
These could be aspiring future journalists.
They are. Actually, one of them is in college for that.
So that absolutely freaking rocks. That's amazing. So that is something I didn't know about you, Dawn.
That's a wonderful message.
I'm loving that. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. And every once in a while I think about reviving it, getting a whole new crop of kids. And we actually shot at a studio a few times, and we're in the process of trying to do a show, an actual syndicated show, but I just didn't have the energy to work on getting the sponsors together and stuff. It was just it was a little bit more than I could take on at the time.
Well, you also do a lot as well, so your plate is relatively full from what I know. From what little I know, your plate's pretty full, so I can understand that.
Yeah, it was fun though.
What is your name? I forgot. I heard Moon say what your name is. I forgot.
Oh, it's Dawn Murray.
Dawn. Okay, Dawn. The best advice I can give you: first thing, put that up on Web Streets Friends. Put that up on there. Tell what it was about. If it's still active, let people know. I can tell you the people that I'm involved in, they would love to know that that's available, and they would love to know more about that project. If you really want to get that up and running again, put it up on Kickstarter or Patreon or.
Yeah, they didn't have those back then.
Yeah, they didn't have those back then, but now they got Kickstarter, Patreon.
So this is a whole different thing.
Whatever. And just say, this is my project. Put it up there for whatever amount you're wanting to raise, and I guarantee you, people in friends I know in the entertainment business, they'll say yes. We'd be willing to let you use our studios if you want to come to our studios or want to help you find a place to shoot your projects. We'll help you out any way we can.
Well, that is cool. See, and this is the great thing about it. This is the whole point of it is when you are reaching out and you're enriching someone else or you're lifting somebody else. See, this is what happens. And again, I use the hashtag "You can't make this shit up," but it's true. You really can't make this shit up.
I will have to put that on my calendar for August. Because I'm booked.
Yes, serendipitous little tendrils, that connections, those little.
But yeah, put it up on Facebook. Put it up on Facebook on Web Streets Friends, and say, "This is what we're doing. I've done this before. This is what we're doing again. Like some input about how to shoot this, where to shoot it. Can you put any financial help towards it, whatever?" And I guarantee you, a lot of people will support that a lot because they know that. It is helping a project like get awareness of cancer, AIDS, diabetes, or whatever. So, and there's my other reason to live, my youngest nephew.
Awesome. I love the attack. Attack hugs are awesome.
So, but yeah, just try that approach, and I guarantee you'll see some results, and you'll see some input put in.
Now those rock. Those sneak attack hugs, love them. Like someone just showing up, giving you a hug and going, "All right, I'm gonna go back and do what I gotta do."
My youngest nephew for you.
That is awesome. But see, this is part of why I brought this idea. What is your legacy? What do you bring to the world? Because see, this is the thing: is all of us have gifts, all of us have strengths. Now, if we are only utilizing those strengths, like if you could be an amazing singer, but you only sing alone. Well, you know what? You could use that singing towards a good cause or something. Using those gifts and strengths to either uplift somebody or to make someone feel better, something like that. It's key. It's adding to your legacy. It's adding to your message. It's adding to how you put yourself forward in the world.
Yep.
All takes a little bit. For sure. Anybody else would like to share what their legacy is all about? What do they do to put themselves out in the world? Like, for example, if Beth is still in the room, I know that Beth, she helps people with making them feel more beautiful.
Nice.
Now that's important. I know in the realm of people that are involved in cancer research and being and having cancer, a lot of times just working the beautification or the help of making them feel or stay beautiful amongst the chemotherapy and everything is huge. So if you are someone that just helps someone be better or feel better, that alone is huge. Hey, Donald. So that's also part of it. Oh yeah, okay, she's working tomorrow. Well, she's making people beautiful tomorrow, so she needs to get some sleep. But Beth, always a pleasure coming in. And Beth is across the pond, so this is where I just have to be uber appreciative of all of you being here because it's international, baby. No joke. You know, international people from all over coming in just to provide support and chime in and share stories. So I hope you have sleep. I hope you sleep well and sweet dreams. That'd be fantastic.
Moon, I'm gonna hop because I've just been informed by my diabetes that it's time to eat, and it will in about 10 minutes. Yes.
Let's make sure you take good care of yourself, Tony. But it's always a pleasure, Tony. Thank you for popping
Usually
in.
my diabetes lets me know about 5 minutes before things get very dangerous. That
We don't want you sick for sure, so you better take care of yourself.
So anyway, Dawn, it was good meeting you. Please, please take my advice. Go on Web Series Friends, put up your project up there, and get some input, and try to put it up on Patreon or Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, whatever. You'll get a lot of support. People will gladly give to a project like that. And,
Thank you.
Ask for people. You know, where can I shoot this? Can I get some help? You know, for support for, and I guarantee you'll get it. So Moon, I better go. Dawn, it was good meeting you. Everybody else, goodbye. So namaste. So,
namaste, Tony.
What a sweet guy.
And again, I've seen a lot of changes within Tony in the amount of time I've known him. So this is why a lot of times when people want to step up and it's not their normal juju, their normal way to be able to step up, I have to acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times I believe in giving people a shot to be heard. Now, if you act a fool, well, that's a little different, but everyone deserves a shot to be heard, to be given the message, you know, to leave a message. That's all really, really important. Yeah. Now, Evangelos, I don't know if Evangelos would like to try to pop in. I know we're going to be closing down the recording shortly. However, you know, Evangelos, if you want to try popping in a third time's a charm, potentially, you can try it.
Well, I'm excited. I get to share you tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, you know, that's something
to a whole new group of people.
Yeah, if you'd like to describe that, because I'm a horrible salesperson and self-promoter. So, if you want to share about this radio show tomorrow,
so tomorrow night, and it's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Moonshadow is going to be on the Linda Allen show, and every month we do a show. Linda is actually she's a psychic. She's been working for decades. She never on the lab, so she'll never hear this. So
I don't call that old. I call that seasoned. She's a seasoned psychic.
At least 50 years. So she's been doing it a long time. Actually, that's be 50 years professionally. So she has a show and that I do for her, and every month we welcome a guest reader, psychic, intuitive, to be on the show. We interview them, and then they answer questions for the members. And if there's time afterwards, and we can take calls and answer those as well. We do a 2-hour show to make sure that we get as much in as possible. And so you are the first guy that I've booked.
Yeah,
I have never booked a male on the show. So, and Linda's been ill lately, so she hasn't been on the show for a while. But when she saw that I was posting about Moonshadow, she got a little bit of extra energy, and she said, "I think I'm going to be on the show tomorrow night. I want to interview him. I want to meet him." I was like, "All right," because I mean, it's literally been. I don't think she's been on at all this year.
Oh wow.
So it's special that she wants to meet you, that she wants to be on the show with you. So
Well, I would love that. I think that's going to be fantastic, and I think it's going to be a great experience too. I've come from radio and TV back in the day, old school radio and TV, not this new digital landscape. But I'm really looking forward to it because it's going to bring me back to kind of like the old radio days a bit.
Yeah, and all you have to do is go to Moonshadow's page, go to his website, which you should post. Like,
yes,
you should type it in or put it in.
I will be tweeting the information in 140 characters or less. Or you can go on my Phoenix Rising page link, and that gives you all the info as well. In fact, I'll probably end up doing Bitly and using that link there.
Yeah, that's the actual page. Right there.
Excellent. So you guys can check it out there, and I really would love to see my peeps, my tribe over there because you guys are amazing.
Yeah. And so you can listen. He has actually got it embedded on his website. So as soon as it starts, you could just go head over to his page and listen live right there. You don't even have to try to find it anywhere.
And you can even call in if you'd like.
Yes, the phone number is there. So like in the second hour, we should have time. But I am just excited to be able to get Moonshadow on the show. It's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be a fun time. I'm nervous as hell but excited all at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fun thing. Also, Wendy, we got a new person, Wendy Bell. Welcome. And she has a dog named Bogalooza. Oh, that's a very unique name. Love it.
Well, I'm going to hop off. But somebody else, come on in.
Fantastic. And if anyone else wants to pop on and say hi, feel free. I will be closing down the recording in a couple of minutes, but I enjoy hearing your stories and you sharing your experiences and knowing about what do you feel is your legacy? How do you, what message do you want to put out in the world for people to see and to know what you do and who you are? Because you're perfectly welcome to pop in to see if you like, or share in the chat as well. And this is a big part of it. This is a big part of all of us have something to share. All of us have gifts and strengths to put out there. And it really is up to us to not be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of you being you. Don't be afraid of putting your best foot forward. Don't be afraid of being eccentric. Don't be afraid of being different. Only weak people bully and blame and shame. The strong people shine and they put themselves out there. And they're not afraid of it. So if you're nervous or if you're concerned or if you're, fearful, this is a little healthy challenge for you guys. Don't be. Because for all you know, the message that you share may be the one thing that's going to change someone's life. It could be that simple. It could be that profound. It could be that big. Going back a while ago, I was having a conversation with someone, and I had said to them that I was a freak, and I'm a mutant. because I have two different color eyes, so I'm literally a mutant. And no, you can't make this shit up, seriously. But the thing is, I've had to embrace the fact of who I was a long time ago. And there wasn't a lot of people out there that kind of lifted me up and say, it's okay to be unique. It's okay to be eccentric. It's okay to think differently than other people. It's okay to see things from a different perspective. I didn't have a whole lot of that. But that just made me even stronger and really embrace my own identity and my legacy and what my message was. So this message that I'm providing now in 2016, it's not much different than I was providing when I was a little kid. It's just adapted and evolved. So that being the case, and thank you so much, Cindy. I really appreciate that. And as Dawn Marie is saying, it can be really hard being different, but it's rewarding just being you. At the end of the day, only you have you to impress. You don't have to impress anybody else. At the end of the day, when you're brushing your teeth and you're washing your face to go to bed, if you provided some goodness in the world, if you put some good juju out in the world, that's all the difference, because you only have you to impress. Trying to be somebody else or acting like somebody else or providing someone else's legacy is different, because you're not going to be able to put it out there. You're not going to be able to emulate the other person as much as you can emulate yourself, Now, Evangelist is saying, Moon, can I send you some visitors to your site as a gift for me? Big appreciation for your time spent helping out globally. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, too, now that's to my Phoenix Rising news and also for the blog, the radio show tomorrow. But also, too, I will put in my link, if I can spell it correctly here for a second. There you go. And also, all my links, right, and my Facebook is also there as well. My Twitter's on there. You can say contact. It's all there. Pretty much that's my little hub and center of the universe where you guys can connect with me in any way possible, shape, and size to be able to connect with me, DM with me, message me, email me, all of that. That's all things Moonshadow right there, moonphoenixrising.com. And I'm going to close out the recording, but I want to say that I want to thank all of you and give blessings and send good juju to all of you that have joined me today, all my replay viewers, everyone that sees me on YouTube, everyone that goes in that watches me via Phoenix Rising and my website. I appreciate all of you. So please feel free to follow and subscribe. Friend me on Facebook. You can check me out on Twitter as well. Add me on Twitter. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of those things I try to share as much as I possibly can with what other people do as well, goodness that other people share to the world. I like to also collaborate and network and utilize other people's gifts and put them out there in the world. So that's part of my legacy. That's part of my message to the world, is that there are so many good people out there, and I want to connect and bring them out there and put them out there as much as possible. Because with all of what we do, with the little snippets and little web connections, the little spider webs that we put out there, that can make a really big thing happen. So that being said, I just want to let you all know, be strong, be amazing, be you. Catch you next week, and see you around.